So this is actually really, really cool. I'm really excited about this topic. This is something that I think like we all have our own stories to tell on this. So today, well, this month of September 2015 marks the 20-year anniversary that the PlayStation launched in North America and in European markets. Today, actually, the day we're recording this on September 9th. So today is the actual day it was released in North America. In 20 days from now, on the 29th, that was the day that the system was released in Europe. And so, we wanted to kind of honor I know PlayStation got a lot of back in December of last year when it celebrated its 20th anniversary in Japan, which was its initial release. I know there's a lot of celebration towards that, but we wanted, Adam and I wanted to kind of like take a moment to celebrate when the system was released to like where we live, like when it made a difference to us. And so, dude, if you don't mind, I think it'd be interesting if we kind of like told like our origin stories of when we actually got the PlayStation for the first time. Like I assume you owned a PlayStation, right? The first one?
Yeah, you're going to be really scratching the bottom of my mind because I was a really, really young kid when I had a PlayStation, but you go first. I think you probably have a better memory than me because you're a lot older than me when I had it.
Yeah, this was, let's see, I'm 28 now, so I was 8 years old when PlayStation came out. Well, I'll just straight up say I actually didn't own a PlayStation when it came out at launch. I was kind of an odd kid when it came to video game consoles. In 1995, I owned a Sega Genesis, or a Mega Drive, as it's known elsewhere. And the Genesis was, like, the coolest fucking thing in the world. Like, I didn't really care much about other consoles because I was so, like, into this. I had Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and, I didn't really, have an interest in gaming. My dad actually got me into gaming again, or kind of reignited my love for gaming when he bought me a Nintendo 64 in 1996. So I kind of got back into it. I was aware of PlayStation. I knew what it was. I wasn't really interested in it, though. I remember my friend, his brother had a PlayStation, and I would see him play Crash Bandicoot and shit like that. And I didn't really care much for it back then. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I have Mario. I'm cool with Mario. Well, what happened to me was this was around circa 1998, I think. Around that time, I went and visited another friend of mine. His name was Alex. And his brother also had a PlayStation. It's kind of funny. I don't know why all my friends' brothers had PlayStations. That's just the way it was. And I was like friends of his brother, like also. So the three of us would all hang out and shit. And there was two games that he showed me that got me so fucking interested in the PlayStation that I had to buy one. The first was Final Fantasy VII, which was, obviously an excellent, RPG for its time and even now. Excellent story, really just cinematic as cinematic could get. And the second game was Resident Evil 2. And the thing with me was, you have to understand, I had a background of, like, the NES, the Sega Genesis, and the Nintendo 64. So, video games to me, in my, 8-year-old mind, or I guess around this time I was 10, the most cinematic gaming ever got for me was fucking Princess Peach baking a cake for Mario. Okay? Like, that was as cinematic as it got. Like, Mario, I baked you a cake. I didn't know about storylines and how epic games could get. And here I am watching this, like, George Romero-esque zombie video game, with like fucking the game opens that the truck crashes and, Leon or Claire, whoever the fuck you're playing as, you run out and you're doing all that. And I was just blown away with that concept. Like, it was just so fucking interesting how, like, movie-like. And since it was CD-based, the music was really, like, epic and was CD quality, which was big back then. So without any question, I told, like, this was early 1998. So my birthday was in February, so I asked my dad, like, I want to get a PlayStation. And he's like, what the fuck is a PlayStation? I'm like, it's like Nintendo, but Sony made it. And he's like, Sony makes video games? I'm like, yeah, they do. And so I think like what he told me was, if you get good grades in school, I'll get it for you. I'm like, oh, I'll get good grades. I'll get those A's and B's, man. You'll see. And, eventually I bought one. And the ironic part is, when he bought it for me, he got me Tomb Raider 2 instead. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I asked for Resident Evil. Like, this isn't Resident Evil. So that kind of pissed me off a little bit, but I actually liked Tomb Raider 2. It was really fun. And so eventually my second game was Resident Evil 2. I think I got like birthday money, and I'm like, I'm going to buy Resident Evil 2. And so I'm like this, how old was I? I was 11 years old. This 11-year-old playing an M for mature rated game, fucking shooting zombies and, all this shit. But I fucking love the system, man. I mean, it, the same year I bought it for the first time, later that year, Metal Gear came out, and I bought Metal Gear Solid, and, that turned out to be my favorite video game of all time. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, I remember I had to buy the DualShock controller separately, because if you guys remember, the PlayStation, the controller it came with did not have, it was just the D-pad and the, triangle, X, square, and circle buttons, and start and select. No, what is it, L3 and R3, the clicks, none of that shit. You had to buy that separately, man. Like, that was after Star Fox 64 came out, that Rumble became, like, this industry standard, and so Sony came out with DualShock, made the whole, 2-controller stick. So I actually bought that separately, and I actually don't remember what game I bought with it. I don't remember the first game I played that had Rumble that I was amazed by. It might have been Metal Gear. I think Metal Gear might have been the game that I played with Rumble for the first time. But yeah, that's basically my PlayStation story. I mean, it's a lovely console. I can't believe it's 20 years old. I think it's an amazing system to this day. It still has great, games you could play. And, I would tell people, like, there's those PlayStation Classics you can get on PSN Store. Pick those up, man. This is still a great system to this day.
Fucking hell. That was a story. I didn't want to interrupt because I didn't know, like, where to take an entry, but my god, that's a PlayStation story. So, mine's going to be a bit different because the PlayStation came out, 1995?
Yeah.
So, I was 2 years old. So, I can't really tell you about that point in my life. If I remember correctly, we still had a Super Nintendo at that point.
Okay.
And we were riding that bandwagon. I think it was to be in 99? When we got it, or 98, round about there, because I remember vividly, my brother was playing Resident Evil, that made me cry at one point, because I was really upset, because the zombies were freaking me out.
Which is funny, because now you're into horror movies, so that's kind of funny.
The irony stems from so many things. I think Chucky gave me nightmares as a kid.
Oh, same.
I actually, I became, like, so far away from horror because I was a kid when I watched it, like, almost like, it's just so bad. And then, like, what was it? I remember playing Crash Bandicoot. Oh my god, that's such a fond memory of that. Like, that was like the next step for me. I remember watching Metal Gear. I never played it till I was around about, I think maybe I was like 12 or something. It took me a while to get, like, just finally play it. But I watched the entire thing. My brother played it, and, like, I was only young as well. I had no idea what was going on, but I got so invested in it though as a kid. Like, I didn't know, why the fuck, the start 2 chords fell and whatever else, like what Solid Snake was up to. Like, a lot of the Cold War context came later, which I really enjoyed. It kind of, like, made me more into my history and stuff. But, like, from an early step, I kind of got so, like, engrossed by what it was doing. And, like, it was just kind of, like, one of those things where I was watching it. I was like, my brother was interested in it. He kind of, like, stemmed it to me. So that was, like, kind of a fond memory for me. But, I never had that kind of chance of, like, having it on release. Never remember the hype behind it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was early days. The internet was really into its kind of, like, adolescent years, and
right.
We couldn't get a lot of the kind of community stuff. So it kind of, like, flew over my head a little bit. Like, I was just kind of investing myself in it. Like, it was kind of the next step for me.
Yeah.
Because we'd been playing Super Nintendo for, like, ages. And obviously that was kind of, like, the starting point for my kind of, like, experience as a gamer. But, like, it was, like, a huge moment for me. But I remember, like, how big it was. Like, the discs were there. The cases changed.
Remember those big cases? Remember the big ones?
Yeah.
At first? And then they made it the jewel cases, like, a few years later.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like, now I kind of appreciate it more, because, like, I think for me, like, I wish I would have been born a little bit earlier, maybe 1980. I would love to have seen, like, you go through everything, like, at a good pace and at, like, a good years, like, to see everything. And so the evolution of, like, the boxes and stuff. But, yeah, I remember the PlayStation being huge. I think, like, for me, it was more, my mind vividly remembers the PlayStation 2's release. I kind of like building up to that, like getting Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 2 and stuff like that, and kind of like that. But obviously, I was a lot younger when I played it. But I was very like happy to have that experience, like, even being in the PlayStation era, the first one, seeing it being released. Like, I kind of seem like I'm one of those original people, the OGs, who went with the PlayStation from '95 to like now and kind of like understood like some of its higher points. A lot of games I missed, and obviously a lot of them we couldn't afford, and we couldn't I couldn't get at that time.
Right.
But I have had the opportunity to go back and play them. But it was a huge point, though, and obviously my story's not as grand as yours, but it had its moments. It had its moments.
I mean, dude, it's kind of like me and the original NES. Like, I was alive during the NES's era. Like, well, no, actually, NES came out in '85. I was when it was 2 years into its life cycle, I was born. So, it's like NES was like one of those passing things for me as well. And I mean, I didn't get the hype either for the original PlayStation because, I didn't get one in '95. I wasn't even aware of one until like '96. That my friend Gabe, his brother had one, like I mentioned. I do remember going to video stores and seeing like I would go to like the Nintendo 64 section, like at a Blockbuster or something. And I would see, like, PlayStation. I'm like, what the fuck is PlayStation? Like, what is this? Discs? They're CDs now? What? Because I knew about Sega CD. I'd play that at a Blockbuster, but I never owned one either. So, but, I mean, dude, I think anyone can agree. And, the funny thing is also, this is the 20th anniversary of the original PlayStation is also the 20th anniversary of the PlayStation as a franchise, like as a series of consoles, which is something I think I've always appreciated from Sony, is that, if you look at like Xbox, it's, what is it? It's like Xbox 360, Xbox One. Like, it just sounds really weird. It's almost like the Rambo of video game consoles. You're not going to know what fucking came first. But PlayStation, I love how simple it is. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and now PlayStation 4. Simple, numbered, which one is the newest one. When I'm sure the next one is going to be PlayStation 5, and you're just going to know that's what it is. I love that. I think it's so cool, and I love that they've kept that up. I still remember, this is kind of like a PS2 story, but I still remember that commercial they used. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if they aired it in the UK, but in the US they aired this commercial for PS2, and it was set in the future. And it was this dude, he walks into a store and he buys a PlayStation 9. And the PlayStation 9 was like this sphere that he like puts in his eye, and then all of a sudden, like, his world becomes a video game. And then at the end of the commercial, it said the beginning, and then the logo for the PS2 came up. And I was like, whoa, we're going to get that eventually? Like, I don't think we are, but in my head, I'm like, that's what we're, whoa, that's awesome. So I've always thought, like, I hope we do get to PlayStation 9. And when we get to PlayStation 9, it better be a sphere that we stick in our eye and it turns everything, or else
I'll parody that video.
Yeah, like, or something, at least that. Yeah, because
they've always sold like consoles well. I mean, like, more since I remember watching the old later ones. I think I always loved the PS3 one. We talked about this in the marketing video games episode that we did. I think it was ages ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, I always loved the PS3 one that was like, "This is living."
Oh,
it's such like a cool kind of like cool motto for what it was. Like, it was really kind of that experience. Like, it was one of the biggest leaps in a generation.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think they've always kind of. I remember, what was the PS2 one? That was a really cool one. Kind of shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
I love how, for the record, I love how PS4 has brought back the PlayStation. I love that. That was from the original. Yeah. Which, by the way, not to side story, but I did see a couple of commercials today of the original PlayStation 1. And, dude, those commercials were wacky. Like there's one, it was so weird. There's one that had a Russian dominatrix that sounded just like Olga Gerlukovich. I'm not lying. I think it was the voice actor for Olga Gerlukovich. And she was basically saying, like, you are not worthy of a PlayStation. You cannot have it. And, it was so weird. And it's like, why are you telling me I'm a piece of shit? Now I really want to buy it. I guess it worked in the extreme 90s. I don't know.
The extreme. That's really funny. It's a picture of basically a Hollywood sign. It has the PlayStation logos on it.
Uh-huh.
It was used in 2004. In the corner, it has a logo that says, "Live in your world, play in ours."
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was a great slogan.
Yeah. They got a really cool. They got a really cool way of
promoting,
just like marketing stuff and
yeah,
just like really catchy catchphrase. I mean, like greatness away for the players, stuff like that. But yeah, like with PlayStation though, like 20 years is like a defining moment for it. And I think like even the better part is like PS4's recent sale numbers kind of like say so much about how PlayStation is like a thriving kind of business for them. And even Sony is like, massively deterred from its laptops, its TVs, which are like one of its cornerstone products. It's been selling cameras and stuff like that, and there's more of an emphasis now placed on PlayStation for them to sell it, because like, when it goes to 26 million units, it's been out. Is it been out for a year now? Or less than a year?
Which one?
The PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah, it's been out for a while. It came out in 2013 for in the US. Wait, it came out for you guys in 2014, right? Did it come out last year for UK?
Did it come out last year? Oh,
I know.
Which console was it? It was one that came out later.
November of 2013 was the US for PS4. I can't remember.
Like, lost.
Dude, I think it was early 2014, because I remember I told you I had one, and we were talking about it, and you were saying how you wanted to like save up money for it. I think it was for the UK early 2014.
Oh no, we got 15 days after you guys. So it was November 29th, 2013.
Oh,
and in
okay.
Japan it was 2014.
Oh, Japan. Okay, that was the one, right. One of the territories was... Okay, so we got it the same... It was Japan that got it later.
But yeah, 22.3 million units sold as of March 31st, 2015. It's 2 years. And, that's just the early stages of it. It's outselling PS2 at the speed it's going at. Will it reach PS2's numbers? Ooh, I don't think it will.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
It'd be like it's a huge order of like to kind of reach that. But like it's such a cool moment to live through that. And I think I just sent Chris a video as well. Guys on the PlayStation Bob just posted a video where they're doing the unboxing of the original PlayStation.
For you guys, just to keep an ear out, they're the PlayStation blog, the US one at least, and I'm sure the UK one. They're doing a bunch of activities. I think they did add in some. I haven't seen it yet, but it's an unboxing video of the original. How cool is that going to be, by the way? Seeing that, oh, dude. And then they're also doing I think like trivia questions and all this other stuff. So it's really cool. I love that. Because, dude, I celebrate gaming anniversaries, and, a lot of the times they never acknowledge them. Like, no one acknowledges them. Like, Nintendo never fucking acknowledges them. Neither does Microsoft. Nothing like that. So I'm really happy that Sony is, like,
Well, Sony... Sorry, Sony's all about nostalgia there.
Yeah. So
that's why they've... One of the best things about them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a dude, I love nostalgia. I love anniversaries, like celebrating I need to keep my head in the future and the present, but I also love like looking back at the past. I have so many fucking stories I want to tell, about everything. Fuck. I could talk for hours. But so here is we will raise our, we don't have any beers. I wish we did, Adam and I right now, but we'll raise our glasses to
well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let's just leave that as something for people to chew on.
You have scotch. I would say you have a nice scotch with the circular ice cube thing. Like keep it class. But
Totally.
we raise our metaphoric or possibly real glasses to PlayStation 20 years and here's to the next 20 years, because I really want to see what this as a franchise ends up doing. And if you guys have a couple of PlayStation games, pop them in, man. I played some today. I played what did I play today? I played Dino Crisis earlier. I think like I've been playing a PlayStation game every day, leading up to the anniversary, and I played so many Metal Gear, Resident Evil 2, all those, the Final Fantasies. I played Parasite Eve, which I had forgotten about that game. That game's awesome. The first Parasite Eve. The second one sucked so much ass. The first game, awesome. So yeah, guys, go back to those classics, man. Like, take them out, play with them. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Good stuff indeed.
But
I'm exhausted in that.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But I guess that's it for our show this week, guys. So I guess go ahead and close this out, Adnan.
I actually closed the drive, so I'm going to open it back up.
You know what? We're keeping this in.
I think I closed the show a bit too early.
Oh my god. We shut down shop.
2 seconds.
No, it's cool. Well.
So I was wondering why. I got it. I was wondering why I closed the tab so early. It's like, wait a minute, why have we done that? Right. So that's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow the Gamer Headline Show on Twitter at GH Show and like our Facebook page, the Gamer Headline Show, for up-to-date episodes from Gamer Headlines' official podcast. We're more official than this. Sorry for that entire thing happened. Additionally, the Gamer Headline Show can be found on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and of course right here at GamerHeadlines.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for episode 48.
Yeah, take care, guys.